And then Sony came out with a dagger. So as you may remember, Xbox raised their prices, and then Sony comes out and says, hey, look, we're going to slash prices on the PS5 consoles. Now, my comments are probably going to blow up just like Twitter did, saying that Sony does this every year. They run this sale always in the first week of June or right around the first week of June. Brad, you are so wrong, and that blah, blah, blah. This is not a throw at Xbox. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Microsoft is $1 trillion company. They have infinite level of resources. Microsoft should have known that Sony, hey guys, we're gonna raise the prices of Xbox. Does Sony do any sales, I don't know, every time of the year consistently and historically? Somebody should have said, yeah, they do it during the first week of June. And then somebody should have said, okay, how about we hold our price increases until July so that when Sony announces these price cuts temporarily, because they're usually only a week or two, we don't look like we have an egg on our face.
Yeah, that's the big question being asked. And Brad Sams, of course, is the one asking it, but he is asking it at a cost, as always. Hey, look, man, there's no other way to slice it. If you're going to interact or be accepted by the hardcore Xbox fandom, you can't speak the truth. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, MM2K Gaming, back again with another episode of The Quick Dose. This is where we talk about the latest and greatest in the video gaming sphere. And man, oh man, do we have a great one for you today. But can you do us a huge favor? Can you hit that like button? Can you hit that subscribe button? Can you rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we are dropping these doses. Okay, all right. So let's talk about it, y'all. So Brad Sams came out and did a video where he was trying to get people to understand that, look, this latest thing with PlayStation and Xbox, as far as pricing is concerned, and Xbox finally losing the grasp of the mantra consumer friendly. This was handled haphazardly because there was a report that came out that Brad Sams is talking to you about that will give you a clue into some of the weirdest things ever going on at Xbox. It just shows you the lack of care, of insightfulness at the company when it comes to the demographic. I feel like Phil Spencer wants to placate to the rabid fan base, and Satya kind of said, no, you can't do that, Phil, not now. But understanding the entire industry. So Xbox in all its facets, not just its selling games on PlayStation, but in all its facets, Phil's inability to understand his demographic in entirety will hamper the other areas of Xbox and further push Xbox into just a publishing company, which I don't think that's what they really want. I think they're very happy with the stability of selling games on PlayStation, but they want to have hardware that they can put out there. They want Game Pass to succeed. Until they get a grasp of the reputational risk type of stuff, not just with the fanboys, forget them. Because they're going to lead you astray like they did how you handle Bethesda. It's a whole nother podcast or a whole nother video. I'm talking about with the consumers that you need to start flocking to this platform or start flocking to this product and service. Till you get a better handle on them, seems like the only thing that you're going to succeed at is selling games on PlayStation. All right. But before we go any further, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells. This is another members first video, something new that we're doing more frequently, where we give it to you as a member first. If you enjoy it, it'll probably help you maintain your membership. What may also help you maintain your membership is this month. If you're one of those Xbox guys that's like, look, man, MM, you ain't got to tell me, bro. I get it. Xbox don't give a dang about the console. I got me a PlayStation. Well, we got something to help you with that. Courtesy of one of our staunchest supporters for a long time, my homie Geek to Sneak, we are giving away a copy of Death Stranding 2 to one lucky winner. We're going to do a raffle on June 10th of 2025, and the person that wins that raffle will get access to the game. Here's the thing. In order for you to be part of that raffle, you have to be a member. So hit that join button, become a member at any level, you'll get access to Death Stranding 2. Okay, that's enough. Let's continue on with this story. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to play the rest of the video for you, and then we're going to talk about it on the back end because, hey, why not? So let's do this. There we go. Rest of the video. Let's go. Shout out to Oliver Darko for taking the snippet out. And shout out to Brad Sams. Love Brad Sams. I just hate how he gets treated from the Xbox community when he tells the truth. Let's go.
And nobody did. Nobody did. So, yes.
Let's pull that back a little bit. Let's pull that back.
Nobody did. Nobody did. This increases until July so that when Sony announces these price cuts temporarily, because they're usually only a week or two, we don't look like we have an egg on our face. And nobody did. Nobody did. So, yes, these are sales that happen every year. It doesn't change the fact and the real ugly fact that right now, with this sale, you can buy a full PS5 digital console with Call of Duty Black Ops for less than an Xbox Series S 1 terabyte without Black Ops. So, like, this is just a self-inflicted wound that Microsoft could have very easily avoided. Yes, they probably were going to raise prices anyways, but if you know that your competitor always has a sale right around the first week of June, and you know that it always drives a lot of headlines because of it, maybe just wait. Like, did they really make that much more money between then and now? I guarantee that Microsoft thought Sony probably wasn't going to run the sale. That's the naive, or maybe I don't know, thought. I don't even know how to contextualize that, thinking that Sony wasn't going to run the sale, but Sony did. Actually, there were reports that Sony stockpiled a bunch of consoles right before the potential tariffs landing so that they could potentially do this. And so, like, all the things were there lined up saying Sony's going to do this, but I think Microsoft thought, like, hey, they raised their prices overseas, they're not going to do a sale here in the US, but guarantee this is going to drive a lot of PlayStation sales because of all the narratives of prices of consoles going up.
So there you have it. There it is from Brad Sams, telling the full truth about Xbox's screw up when it came to addressing the sale and countering it properly, with holding back on raising the prices. Here's the fact of the matter. And for those of you that don't know, we're big supporters of Brad Sams. Look, he's part of the Xbox fandom, and he's part of the the Microsoft think tank, Paul Thurrott think tank. For those of you that don't know who Paul Thurrott is, you're not in the know about all things Microsoft. I've been following Paul Thurrott for years. We talked about him since we started this channel, about his knowledge of what Satya Nadella was doing, about how Satya Nadella was approaching the Xbox brand. That's why in subsequent years we were able to go from the ultimate Xbox fanboy to me realizing, hold on, this is changing into something that I'm not going to like as a gaming consumer. I better get out of here now. And me being absolutely right, and the things that we predicted about them going third party, about the lack of competition that was there, about the incompetency to come. We saw that happening, the incompetency as far as wanting to compete the way that the prior Xbox platforms did, and them just leading to this moment where they're basically a third party vendor. Now, with that said, I'm saddened again by how Brad Sams is treated, because we ran into this before when we were covering something that he predicted. He's the one that helped let consumers know, hey, the Series S might be a bottleneck for developers. You might not get what you want out of this thing. He tried to tell people that before launch. He got viciously attacked by many people, famous content creators and stuff like that. Some that we've had on this channel, but they've made up and kissed and made up since then. And it just shows you how people distort things that are common sense when it comes to gaming. And they do that because they create content or they want to get close to these gaming companies. And when they do that, it may help them out. It may give them access, or it may help their content out and help their clicks out. But you, the other person on the end of this mic, you lose out because you don't play those games. You don't pass on reality. You don't skip the writing on the wall. You're looking for these people to tell you what's going on. And when they don't, they want to just wipe their hands of it. Well, I didn't mean this, I didn't mean that, or whatever. That's why, and I've had conversations with people, honest ones, because I want people to be honest with me. You have to have that sense of responsibility around your belt. It's not just about how you can get access. It's about what you tell people and how you tell it to them. And Brad Sams is one of the people that is responsible with this, and he gets attacked. Here's what I have to say. Xbox gaming community. I get it. We got some people that are in the cloud community that love Xbox cloud gaming because it's the most simple follow-up to Stadia, right? There was a lot of people in the cloud community that were really left dumbstruck when Stadia closed down. Now because I went to Stadia for its prowess and how it handled AAA games, my natural migration was to GeForce Now. I didn't even give xCloud a thought. Where a lot of people got on Stadia because that was their only fathomable way to access games, either because of budget or because of time restraints or whatever. Like, time restraints and how I spent my money played a huge role, but my biggest thing was access to great games, great fidelity with the versatility of playing on the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Frictionless gaming, as they call it. A lot of people were there for budgetary reasons and time restraints. So their natural progression would have been Xbox, because look, all you got to do is pay a subscription fee. You get access to a whole bunch of games in the cloud. Where with GeForce Now, I got to pay for the service and pay for the games. I don't mind that. Money wasn't an issue to me. Performance was. You know what I mean? So, their natural migration was to Xbox. I don't fault them. I get to where they think that the service is great. I get that. If you're outside of that mold and you're looking for a stable platform to play on, and you're not a Game Pass gamer, that's another group. The cloud group and the Game Pass group. Like, if your total way of engaging with gaming, or the overwhelming majority of the way that you engage with gaming is through Game Pass and you're loving it and you're enjoying it, then I would understand why you would get an Xbox console. If performance ain't key to you, you can get an S. If it is key to you, then you can play you can play it on a Series X. I would recommend you get Game Pass on PC, but again, you got to build a PC for that to take full advantage of that, and that can be expensive. So I get it. Again, if you're a Game Pass gamer, cloud gamer, you're exempt from this shellacking that I'm about to give out. But if you're not, and you're on this Xbox console and you're still creating content, talking smack like Xbox is a better console, that aforementioned Death Stranding giveaway that we're doing, I might talk to Geek and get some other people to chip in and instead get you a CAT scan. On no planet is Xbox a better console. It's not better than any of its previous renditions. It's not even better than the Xbox One. On no planet. It's too damn expensive. The rent is too damn high. Brad Sams just showed you that you can get a PlayStation 5 digital, which runs circles around the Series S. You can get a PlayStation 5 digital bundled with an Xbox game cheaper than you can get a Series S right now. On no planet is Xbox a better console? Not right now. Absolutely not. Stop lying to yourselves. If you're a console gamer, and if Game Pass really isn't you're enjoying it, you like it, but you're not really that tethered to Game Pass, do yourself a favor. Because Brad Sams is showing you right now, Xbox internally, as far as it comes to the console, they have no care of doing their research. They have no care of lining things up. He said it in the video, they were caught off guard. How? There were rumblings about this in the community about there possibly being a price cut this year. How, Sway? And why are you even doing this now? Well, I think it's two parts fault. I think did they do it knowing that a PlayStation sale was coming? No, that's the lack of competence part. But the part that shows you that if you're a hardcore console gamer that's not too tethered to Game Pass, that you purchase your games or whatever, and you just use Game Pass as bargaining chips or whatever, or Game Pass doesn't move you too much, Xbox doesn't care about you. They want you to sell your Xbox and either go to PC or hell, even go to PlayStation. They don't care. They don't care about you. They want you off their platform. And that goes into the lack of concern part. To raise their console prices to this just shows that they're like, look, we'll give you a device to play on. And that's how we need to talk about this. I'm sick and tired, and even Brad Sams has done it. Please stop playing with people's emotions. Stop referring to their future hardware as consoles. It's not going to be that. It's going to be, and if I'm wrong, y'all can take me to the woodshed about this, but their next hardware is going to be PC or ARM based or whatever. That's not the console that people is looking for. All right, it's gonna, the games are gonna be synonymous with PC and stuff like that. And so what they're saying is, look, we'll give you access to a device, but we're not going the traditional console route where we are willing to lose money because we believe our console is so good that we'll make that money back and some with software. It's like when you go making an investment somewhere, when you go buy a house, you go buy a property, you give up a whole bunch of money, but you're going to make that money back over in rent or whatever. That's the traditional console method. Microsoft isn't doing that. They're saying, hey, look, if you're a sicker fan of our brand that much and you don't want to play our games elsewhere and you just want to see Xbox logo somewhere, we'll create something for you, but we're not eating a dime on this. Like, you're paying for the production, everything on it. This is for you, sicko fan, because otherwise you could just get a PC, build it yourself, get another handheld, the Legion or whatever, and just put Xbox games on it. Or we'll make something with our brand on it because you're a sicko fan. They're not going to need a dime on it. So that's not the traditional console sense. It's hardware. Okay. And that's fine. Xbox can do whatever they want, but I'm letting you know that if you're a console gamer, stop with this charade. You look crazy. You look crazier. And that's another video that we had. You look crazier than the Nintendo people out there trying to defend 40 frames per second performance modes and looking silly out there on Twitter. Give it up. It's a wrap. Again, if you're a cloud gamer, if you're strictly a Game Pass gamer, I get it. I gotcha. I understand it. Outside of that, unless you're totally ignorant to what's going on, you need to get your head examined. That's what it is. Brad Sams just pointed out to you. Not only are they not doing the research to understand where they're at in the market against their competitors, but they don't even care because they're going out into the weeds with prices that absolutely make no sense, that are really derived to drive you from the console. Like they just released a 4 terabyte card, their own proprietary hardware. That's $420 something, bro. It's the same price of the console, where you can get an NVMe of the same size for PlayStation for almost half the price. 400. Xbox don't give a damn. If you don't give a damn, then we don't give a. So, you got a lot to think about if you want to sit here and try to defend this console. They're not making moves that is accommodating to you. Continue to do it at your own demise, whatever. Brad Sams tried to warn you. I wonder how many people are going to attack him. I think at this point he doesn't care. He feels vindicated. And like I said, some of the more high profile people that attacked him the last time he tried to warn people, they've made up with him. I think they started to see the error of their ways. Just hopefully as a community we do better. But that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Because who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. They will lead you to Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, MM2K Gaming. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.